Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. This is Shiva Bigam signing in, and I am here to explain you EMF equation of a transformer in today's session. In the last class we have seen the classification of transformers depending upon different constraints, and we know that transformer is a device which works on the principle of Faraday's laws of electromagnetic induction. Let me state the second law of Faraday's laws of electromagnetic induction. The Faraday's second law states that the EMF induced is equal to rate of change of flux linkages. If it is written in the equation form, we get E is equal to minus N into d phi by dt, where N into d phi is the flux linkages, and when it is represented with respect to time dt, it is known as rate of change of flux linkages, N into d phi by dt. Here according to Faraday's second law, I am writing down the equation once again. E is equal to minus N into d phi by dt. If you consider the primary winding side, the parameters on primary side let us consider E1 as the instantaneous value of induced EMF on the primary side. N1, the number of windings on the primary, or you can also consider it as primary winding turns. And let us consider the flux as sinusoidal alternating in nature, and the equation is given as phi is equal to phi m sin theta. And substitute these things in the above equation, that is E is equal to minus N into d phi by dt, we get, let us write down the equation for the primary induced EMF, E1. E1 is equal to minus N1. Here we get the negative sign due to the Lenz's law that we shall deal in the coming classes. Minus N1 into d by dt of the flux is phi m sin theta. So here the equation of flux is phi m sin theta, we have to remember very carefully. So if you differentiate sin theta with respect to dt, we get cos theta, and again d by dt of theta, because here we are differentiating with respect to time, but we know theta is equal to omega into t. So we get here E1 is equal to minus N1 phi m cos theta multiplied by d by dt of omega t, and d by dt of omega t gives us omega. So we get minus N1 phi m cos theta multiplied by omega. Omega is the angular velocity. So the equation for EMF induced is cos theta can be written as sine of 90 minus theta, that is pi by 2 minus theta, and this negative sign is taken inside, we get phi m omega N1 sine of theta minus pi by 2, because minus of pi by 2 minus theta will give us theta minus pi by 2. So here we have got the equation for induced EMF E1 as phi m omega N1 sine of theta minus pi by 2. So observe this equation carefully. We have considered the equation for flux as phi m sin theta, but we have got the EMF induced for E1 as something multiplied by sine of theta minus pi by 2. So by observation we can say that this EMF is going to lag behind the reference by 90 degrees because we have got a theta minus pi by 2. Now let us consider E1 max as the maximum value of this induced EMF, which is equal to the coefficient of sine of theta minus pi by 2, which is pi m omega n1, where omega is 2 pi f. So substitute here, we get E1 max as equal to 2 pi f into pi m multiplied by n1. And let us consider capital E1 as the RMS value, that is root mean square value of this alternating waveform. And we know that the RMS value will be equal to 1 by root 2 times the maximum value. So hence we get E1 as equal to E1 max divided by root 2. Substitute for E1 maximum in this equation, we get E1 as equal to 2 pi f phi m n1 divided by root 2. And if you simplify this, we are going to get E1 as equal to 4.44 into pi m f into n1. So this is the equation for induced EMF onto the primary side. The same equation can be written for the secondary side also. Considering E2 as the EMF induced onto the secondary side, we get 4.44 pi m f into n2, because the same flux is going to link with both primary and secondary. Hence we arrive at the same equation for the secondary side, secondary induced EMF also. These two equations are very important for us, from which we are going to derive some other things. So that is the reason why. Let us consider these two equations again. This as equation number 1, consider, and this as equation number 2. From equation 1, take n1 onto the left hand side, we get E1 by n1. Consider the ratio E1 by n1 as equal to 4.44 pi m into f. Similarly, from 2, consider the ratio E2 by n2. So we get the same 4.44 pi m into f. That means to say that these two are equal. E1 by n1 is equal to E2 by n2. What is E1 by n1 or E2 by n2? The EMF per turn on primary and secondary. So E1 by n1 refers to EMF per turn onto the primary side. Similarly, E2 by n2 refers to the EMF per turn onto the secondary side. These two will be the same. This is the principle of transformer action. And if you consider E2 by E1 ratio here, we get E2 by E1 is equal to N2 by N1, which is known as voltage ratio of a transformer. If we consider the ideal case of a transformer where the losses will not be considered at all, then the same ratio can also be expressed like this. That is, E2 by E1 is equal to V2 by V1 is equal to N2 by N1. So here V1 is the supply voltage and V2 is the terminal voltage or the load. And this ratio can also be considered as transformation ratio or turns ratio. Generally, this transformation ratio or turns ratio is going to be expressed as K. Now, let us see the value of K for this step up and step down transformer. For step up transformer, as we know that the output voltage E2 will be greater than the input voltage E1. Hence, for step up transformer, the value of K will be greater than 1. and for step down transformer, this value K turns ratio will be less than 1 because the output voltage will be less than the input voltage. So these observations that we can make. Next, let us consider the two equations for flux and induced EMF. From these two, we can draw the phasor diagram of flux and E1. So take flux as the reference because phi m sin theta, I am considering it as the reference. Then obviously the induced EMF E1 is going to lag behind the flux by 90 degrees because we have got the equation for E1 as sin of theta minus pi by 2, where sin theta is the reference. Similarly, E2 also will be in the same direction as that of E1 because both will have the same phase. So I am writing down the equation for E2 as small e2 is equal to EMF induced onto the secondary winding is equal to E2m sin of theta minus pi by 2. So it will be in the same direction. And the magnitude depends upon whether the voltage is going to be stepped up or stepped down. Hence the conclusion here is the phases E1 and E2 are going to lag behind the flux by 90 degrees. Okay viewers, that's all for today's session, and I will be very much happy if you subscribe to my channel and give your valuable suggestions and feedback. Thank you for watching my videos. Bye.